everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Tamika Mathis, and I am a seer. And in this video, I'm going to tell you a testimony of mine where the enemy tried to take me on this wild goose chase, thinking that I was going to die by this tragic accident. But before I do, there is a couple things, and that's the usual video things. You can like, share, comment, or follow us on Facebook, and that is under Tamika Mathis Ministries or Seers, Prophets, and Biblical Dream Interpreters. And one more thing before I get into the video, I wanted to show you guys a journal that I made, and it is a 120 page writing journal. Well, it's more pages than that, but there's 120 pages of writing, and I'll give you an example of what it is. It's 8.5 by 11, so regular paper size, and on one side it is, here, let me zoom out real quick. Oh, maybe I can't. Okay, so one side is the title and date, and then you can write, and then there's scriptures at the bottom regarding seers. On the other side, you can do the interpretation, where it has the keywords or symbols, and then you have room to write the interpretation of the dream whenever you get it. In the back, there is a dream map here that, if you can see it close, help you interpret dreams. And then I'll use this method later in the video to help you interpret this, or to help you understand how to use this map. And you can feel free to tear this out and make copies to use with your other dreams. And also in the back of the book, there is a dictionary of dream symbols. Some of the most common ones are in here, and then there's ones that I've had that repeat themselves often, and I wanted people to understand what they meant, and I put those in here too. So it's like I don't know, maybe 5 pages of symbols, as well as a little or a brief explanation of common things in dreams, like angels and names, numbers, that type of thing. So you can get this on Amazon, you can get it on eBay, and they are $13 right now. So there's that seer journal. And now I'm going to get ready to get into the dreams, or the wild goose chase. I'm going to be switching between dreams and what happens in real life. So you have to follow me to understand what's dreams and what's real life. And then at the end, I will do, like I said, do the dream map to show you what the dreams actually meant after I went on the wild goose chase and realized that if I had interpreted the dream before, or known how to interpret before, then I wouldn't have gone on the wild goose chase, because I would have understood the real meaning of what God was trying to show me in my dream the first time. So it's very important that you learn to understand how to interpret your dreams, one, or understand the importance of praying and asking for understanding, asking for this Holy Spirit to give you understanding, or an angel of understanding. And you can do those things and be adamant about it with God. If you feel like you don't get it, or you don't understand, or aren't sure, hey, he says, feel free to ask for assurance and security if it's something that you don't understand. And he knows that you don't understand, and he'll give you confirmation or understanding, so that you can avoid what I did or what I went through in this tragic, like, mind manipulation games and that type of thing. Okay, so I'm gonna go through all the dreams that I had and explain everything to you. Then I'm gonna break down the actual meaning of the dreams versus what I thought they meant before I was seasoned in interpreting dreams and understanding the different ways that the enemy can fool you in your dreams. So, the very first dream was um, it was nighttime, and it was me, my son named EJ, who's 5, and my ex mother in law named Miss Perry, and she was holding on a leash, my old dog named Kobe. And we were walking in the dark. I'm not sure where we were going at the time, but we were walking, and my son said, Mommy, I'm thirsty. And I said, okay, baby, we'll get you something to drink. And he said, I want something from there. And he pointed to this building. It was this brick building or gray brick building, and it had a large mural on the side that said, or it was a picture of a mouse, like the mouse from Tom and Jerry, and on the side it said Tom and Lola's, and it was a gas station or a convenience store. So I said, okay, baby, we'll get you something from there. And so he said, Mommy, I'm thirsty. I'm backtracking, repeating so you can understand. He said, Mommy, I'm thirsty. And I said, baby, we'll get you something to drink. And he pointed to the gas station or, convenience store that had the wall mural of a mouse. And instead of Tom and Jerry, it said Tom and Lola's. So I said, okay, baby, we'll get you something from there. So we started walking in that direction. And as we were walking in the direction, I saw these brick apartments to my left. And I was walking, and then all of a sudden the dream just stopped. And I was lifted up or levitated up or whatever, like somebody had just picked me up like I was a doll, and it was the Lord. And I knew it was God because you just know the presence of God. And I said, what is it now, God? It better be some money or something. So he picked me up and he sat me down in front of these apartments. And then all I saw was a brick wall at first. And then all of a sudden, it was like I could see through the wall. And I saw all these pipes going in, like connecting, going different direction. And he said, what do you see? I said, I don't know, Lord, or I don't see anything, Lord. And he said, look closely. So he zoomed me in to the wall, and in the pipes, there were like these boxes. It almost like a waffle. You know how waffles have boxes. And they were just like these squares of boxes, empty boxes. And then when he zoomed me in, I could see this JC bag that was empty. It was just like a white bag with the JCP logo, and I knew it was JC. So I was just like, I don't get it, Lord. What is it that you want me to see or get? And then I woke up. That was the first dream. So after that, in real life, I went to this birthday party at this hotel. And it was my friend's son's birthday party. And at the time, my friend had this ear infection. So we were getting ready to go to sleep, and before, like, 3 or 4 days before, I had not had any dreams at all. And this was strange because I dream every night. And so I had been praying, like, Lord, it's been like 5 days, um, since I've had a dream. I don't understand what's happening. Please come back to me. Please, talk to me again. I don't understand, like, this life. Like, I've been having dreams for so long and then not have any. It's just, it's just weird to me. So I had been praying, like asking God, like what I had done wrong, and asking Him to forgive me and all these different things. So at this birthday party, it was a swimming party, and I told you my friend had a ear infection. So we went, as we were going to sleep, I heard a voice, or I heard these two voices start laughing, and they're like, if you can hear this, you better tell your friend to close her ears. And so I was like, huh? So I was like, okay, Lord, what does that mean? Why were they laughing? And why would they tell her to close her ears? You know? So that all that night, I was tossing and turning. My son was crying, tossing and turning. And it was like we didn't get any sleep. And I had a dream that night for the first time in like 5 days. And this dream was me going down or driving, and I heard somebody say, "You're going to get in an accident." I just heard that voice. And so I was driving off this bridge, and I saw this construction team, and they were like building a bridge or something like that. And as I was driving, I just drove off the bridge because it hadn't been completed. And so I drove off the bridge into this murky water, and I woke up. So I, woke up, and I was like, Lord, I don't understand, what was this about, and I started rebuking it and all these types of things, right? Thinking I was going to get into an accident. So I started praying for protection and all of this. Then after that, a couple days later, a few days later, I had another dream. And in this dream, that same friend that I was at the birthday party with, she called me, and everything was black. Like, there was no visuals. I didn't see anything in a dream, just like black box, and I could just hear. And what I heard was, she called me, and she said, meet me at the WIC office. Because at the time, I just knew that she was supposed to pick me up, but she left me hanging or stood me up. And so I was waiting on her, and she was like, well, just pick me up at the WIC office and I'll meet you there. So I said, okay. I was like, that's strange. Why would you want me to meet you at the WIC office? And this is in real life. That I was saying, that's strange. After that, I was praying, and I was like, Lord, am I supposed to meet somebody at the WIC office? Am I supposed to minister to somebody there? I don't understand. And I was like, we don't qualify for WIC, so why would I go to the WIC office for me? Lord, are you trying to bless me? I don't get it. So I just kind of put those instructions on the back burner. And then in real life, again, I was talking to my god sister, and we were just talking about, obedience and different things like that. And right before I talked to her, I had been reading Jeremiah, because in Jeremiah, the Lord asked him, what do you see? And he said, the almond tree and the boiling water or whatever. So that's what made me go start reading Jeremiah. And she was telling me, like, well, the best thing to do is to be obedient if you feel like, that's what God is telling you to do. So I said, okay, Lord. I grabbed my Bible, and this was a Saturday morning. I was getting ready to go to the gym, and I had my son EJ and my other son with me. And I said, you know what? Okay, you're right. I'm going to be obedient. So I'll just stop by the WIC office on my way to the gym. And I was like, but the WIC office is closed. I don't get it, on Saturdays. But Lord, I'll be obedient. I'll go anyway. So in real life, on my way to the WIC office, there is like this, you have to turn this street on the side street to get to the WIC office. And I was turning in, and my son screamed, "Mommy, stop! Don't you see that sign there?" And I stopped real fast, like hit the brakes, because when he said, "Mommy, stop," and it scared me, alarmed me. And he said, "Don't you see that stop sign right there?" And I said, "No, baby, there's no stop sign right there. I don't know what you're talking about." But there was this median, and I didn't see the median. So I was getting ready to hit the median and tear up my car, because it was like this huge, like, decorative median, or whatever, that had stones and stuff in it, or pebbles. So I was like, oh, thank you, Lord. My son, saved me. So I was like, thank you for using my son to stop me, but there was no stop sign there. And he just said, he just screamed, "Mommy, stop," for some random apparent reason. He didn't even know, I don't think, because he said, "Don't you see that stop sign?" And there was no stop sign. It was just a median that I was getting ready to hit. So my son protected me from the median. God using my son to protect me. Let me clarify. So I backed up and then went around the median, and then I turned into the WIC office parking lot. And when I pulled up to the parking lot, I saw the wall that I had seen in my dream. So I said, "Oh, Lord, what are you trying to show me?" Remember, this is real life still. I was like, "Lord, what are you trying to show me? This is the same wall that you showed me in my dream." And so I'm thinking, okay, am I supposed to look for a JCPenney bag? So I get out, and I start walking up this wall. Now this wall is like, I don't know, it's like a block long. Almost, it seems like. I mean, I know it's not that long, but like from, maybe from one side of the street to the other side of the street 2 times. So anyway, I was walking, and my son, or I was driving the first time. I was driving up the wall, up the parking lot along the wall, and I was trying to look into the little boxes in the wall to see if I could see anything. And there was like trash and grass, little branches and stuff, birds' nests, like random stuff in these walls. And I was like, Lord, I don't get it. I don't understand what you're trying to show me. So I'm looking for, plastic bags. Like maybe there's some money or something. Because in the dream, I said, God, what is it? Better be some money or something. So I was like, Lord, are you trying to bless me? Is something hidden in here that I need to find? So I'm just walking. I get out the car and I start walking, so I could see closer into these boxes. And my son was like, EJ was like, "Mommy, why are we here? Let's go. I'm ready to go. We're supposed to go to the gym." And I was like, "No, baby, I'm looking for something." And he kept screaming, "Mommy, it's time to go. Please, let's just go. I don't want to be here. We got to go." And I'm like, "No, boy, hush. I'm doing something right now." And so he just kept on with his little attitude, right? And, finally I got tired, and I was like, "Okay, Lord, I don't know what you're wanting me to see, but I'm getting ready to go. So you got to talk to me, tell me something, because I came out here because you wanted me to come out here." And backtracking just a little bit, Shannon's name means wise rock. So, or wisdom, basically wise rock. So that's why when she called in my dream and said, meet me at the WIC office. I was thinking, okay, that's the Holy Spirit telling me to go to the WIC office. So back to real life again, moving forward. I was like, okay, Lord, I'm getting ready to leave this, leave the office. I didn't see anything, so I don't know what you're wanting me to do. So I get back in the car, and I'm driving off. And I was like, all right, Lord, this is it. I'm leaving. And then all of a sudden, the scripture that I had just read that morning, as far as Jeremiah saying, what do you see, popped into my head. And I was like, oh, okay, Lord, I get it. So I was like, maybe I'm supposed to be looking for a tree. So at the time where I stopped saying that little prayer goodbye to this wall, I saw a little tree that was planted right in front of me. And at the bottom of the tree, there was this rock. And on the rock, it was like a memorial for this lady. And it had her date of birth and her date of death. And I'll show you guys a picture of it because I took a picture. So I'll have that down somewhere in the news feed or in the comment section. And so I looked at the rock and I saw that so this is what I thought. I saw that she was 37 when she died. And I was getting ready to turn 37 in a few months. So then I looked back later. It was actually 47 when she died. But that's neither here nor there. That's later on. But the enemy had me thinking, he had me read it wrong, didn't correct me or anything. And I looked real quick, and I was like, 37. I was like, Lord, what are you saying? Are you telling me I'm getting ready to die? I know, and so I just started getting scared. And so I was almost in tears, and I was scared, like, Lord, why would you do this to me? Why would you bring me out here, to show me this and all kind of stuff, right? So I Googled the lady's name. This is still real life. So before I left as I was leaving the WIC office, I Googled the lady's name and found out that she died by driving off of a bridge in icy weather. So her car slid and went off a bridge and on an overpass, and her family died. So, or her daughters died. Either way, at that point, that's when I just flipped. I was like, Satan, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And God, I can't believe you would do this to me. And I was like, you would call me and anoint me and then have me die. I don't understand. I know you're not this type of God. I know you wouldn't do this to me. And all this kind of stuff, right? So, I'm almost in tears on my way to the gym or whatever, and just praying. And I get to the gym, and so I'm worshiping and saying, Lord, protect me, and just have my worship music on and just worshiping, and after the gym, we were getting ready to leave the gym, and I took my kids to the daycare at the gym, and as we were I went to pick them up from the daycare, and my son says, Mommy, look, I drew a picture for you. And I was like, okay. And it was a picture of a worm, and that had a little magic hat, a purple magic hat with stars, and this cape that, magicians wear. And so he had colored it purple, and he gave it to me, right? And then we were in the car, and I'm sitting up here thinking about all the things that took place, and I'm driving pretty much almost scared to drive because I don't know, when this accident is getting ready to happen, and so like I'm just like in this weird place. And then as I'm thinking about it, my son says, no, I before that, I was in this weird place and I was like, oh, Satan, you snake or whatever. And then my son says, Mommy, did you like that snake I drew for you? I drew that just for you. And he said it like just like that. He said I made that just for you, in that same tone, right after I was thinking, Satan, you snake. Now, this is real life. As we left the gym. So I was like, oh, Satan, I can't stand you. Now you want to, like use my son and, like I'm rebuking him and all this kind of stuff, right? And after the gym, it's like, I was just, I don't know, in this like uneasy space or uneasy place. And I kept, praying and stuff. But it was like another part of me was like, you know what? I'm not going to believe that. I refuse to accept that. And God, I know who you are. I know what you've called me to do. You've shown me so much. You show me what you want me to do. And I know that I am not going to die. And I was talking to my husband about it. And he was like, why would you believe that kind of stuff? And he's like one of these, I don't know, I don't even know how to explain, but he got me back on track. Like, don't let that fool you, or don't dig too much into that. You know better than that, and all this kind of stuff. So I was in a better place. But I just wanted to tell you all of that. Like, everything that happened in my dream was manifesting itself in the natural. And how I took what God was trying to show me, because the enemy planting stuff in my head. I took what God was really trying to show me and turned it into something else because of the tricks of the enemy in my mind, and the tricks that he had by injecting little things in my dreams. And so for like all of you seers, I want you to know that there's dreams from the enemy and then there's dreams from God. And if I would have known or understood the difference between the two, or how to differentiate between the two, then I would have never been taken on this wild goose chase. And so I'm going to show you on my board by writing down everything in those dreams, all the symbols in those dreams, and show you what they mean. And you'll realize that God was showing me what was getting ready to happen, and how if I would have understood the symbols in the dream, then I wouldn't have taken the turn that I did. Right? So let me readjust the camera and we'll go to the board. So here for you is the dream map. And it is me in the center because I was the main character and the dream was about me, or what God was showing me. And EJ, my son, represented the ministry. And he said that he was thirsty for Tom and Lola's. And Tom and Lola means doubt and sorrow. So this was God telling me that, hey, look, you're getting ready to thirst or take a drink of a cup full of doubt and sorrow. And Miss Perry was deceased at the time. So her name is Perish, and or death. And that's what that meant. And I was following her. So it was basically saying, hey, and she had the dog. Is so saying, hey, there's an unclean spirit that's going to lead you to believe that you're getting ready to perish or getting ready to die. But then the name Kobe means protected by God. So basically saying you'll be protected by God, even though you're following this unclean spirit, or the unclean spirit is getting ready to lead you down the wrong path. So on the left side, it's what in the dream where God stopped me. He picked me up, like the dream just stopped. So he was trying to stop me from going down that path. And when he stopped me, he was showing me what he was getting ready to do. So basically, an entirely different dream. And it was the pipes in the wall. And so he was saying, this is a plumb line. Well, he asked me what I saw. And so he was showing that he's getting ready to set a plumb line in the midst of his people. And the JCPenney bag, of course, means money, because it was James Cash and Penny is the name of JCPenney, or is what JCPenney stands for. And it was because his people had put their security in money instead of Christ. And the reason I disrespected God in the dream and said, what is it now, God? Or Lord, it better be about some money or something, is because God was showing me, that the people were dishonoring him or disrespecting him for their love of money or their security in money. So that's basically what this dream meant. And if I would have understood that or been able to do this map and look up my symbols, then I would have realized that, it was a hoax from the enemy and that I shouldn't have followed it or believed it. And then I wouldn't have gone down this path. Now, the second dream that I had, where I heard voices and they were laughing and they said, if you can hear this, then tell your friend to cover her ears. Now, where I went wrong in this dream, I don't need the board to explain this one to you, was, first of all, it was just voices and it was darkness. So that tells me that it was the enemy. It was just darkness and voices. And they were laughing like it was a joke to them. And like they were getting ready to trick me. And I didn't really recognize that. And it said, if you can hear this, then you better tell your friend to plug her ears. Well, those demons or those voices weren't actually talking to me. They were talking to my friend, and I could hear them. And of course, the enemy already knew that I could hear and see. So he was telling my friend, hey, if you can hear this, then you better tell your friend to cover her ears, because if she doesn't, we're getting ready to send her, on this wild goose chase. Or she's going to be thinking that she's getting ready to get into an accident based on the stuff that we're getting ready to tell her. So then the second part, where my friend called me on the phone in the dream. Well, this was again total darkness, so the enemy. And she basically said, meet me at the WIC office. And when I was thinking about it, I was like, why would she tell me to go there and everything? So again, I should have known that it was the enemy. And I didn't see her. I didn't see her face or anything. All I heard was her voice. And we know that the enemy can't duplicate or replicate a person that God has created. They can try, they can mimic their voice, but they can't mimic the person. So that's why it was total darkness. And I just heard her voice. So for future reference, if you hear just a voice or something like that, don't follow it, don't listen to it, don't accept it, don't honor it or anything like that, unless it comes along with the light. a bright light. The enemy can't display bright light or the glory of God. And then also we'll know God when we hear him or see him. So, or not necessarily see him, but see his glory. So if I had known that that wasn't God talking to me, or that wasn't him sending someone to talk to me, then also, again, I would have known that I should have never listened to that voice and gone to the WIC office. What else? Oh, again, the enemy. When my son had been saying, well, let's speak what God did first. So God tried to protect me, like he said I was going to be. He told me I was going to be protected by him, and he stopped my son, or he stopped me through my son by telling me, stop, don't run over the median. And then my son was like, Mommy, let's go. I'm ready to go. We need to go. He was trying to stop me from what I was about to see. If I had left when my son had said, let's go, Mommy, I'm ready to go, then I would have never gone again on that wild goose chase. So he tried to stop me twice. Then after I had done it, saw the rock or whatever, and then gone to the gym, the enemy took over. Like, he had taken over my mind, and then he had taken over my son. And my son chose, out of all the photos or all of the coloring pages in the gym that they offered, he chose a worm with magic clothing or attire on. And so witchcraft, magician, and all that. And then he colored it purple, which is like a false sense of power, which means false sense of power. So another device of the enemy. The enemy uses people as puppets, and he will control your tongue, the things that you say, the things that you think, the things that you do. So we have to be careful, very, very careful, and we have to depend on Christ, because some people think that they can outsmart the enemy, or think that they're like invincible to the enemy and his devices, but that's not true. The enemy is so smart. Even the smallest things, or even the people, the most prestigious people, or the people that think they're like holier than thou or whatever. I don't even like that term, but for lack of better words, those are the people that he really tries to use to do his work, because their mindset is, I'm so close to God, the enemy can't use me, or he won't do this to me. God's got me, and that type of thing. And that's true. God does have you, but the enemy can still manipulate you into believing things that's not true. And once you go your own way, after God has already said, no, don't do this, or I'm trying to tell you this, if you ignore him, then God is going to let you go your way, So, and at that point, it's like, hey, the enemy's got you. He's using you as a puppet, or he's controlling you, or manipulating you into do the things that he wants you to do, making you think that you're doing the right thing, which is another thing or another message that I'm going to preach on or teach on in another video, about the enemy and his devices and his manipulation, and believing that something false is really the truth. What else did I want to tell you about? I think that's it. Like I said before, if you have any questions about the dream, or if there was any details that I may have left out, or that you don't understand or get, then just leave me a comment, and I'll get back to you like as soon as I can. It might not be immediately, but I'll get back to you. And if you've had any similar situations or experiences, then let me know. I'd love to hear your testimony or your story. Also, for you dreamers out there, I have the journal that you can purchase too on Amazon or eBay. And like I said, I'll put the links at the bottom. And I believe that's it. Thanks, guys. Thank you for your support. Thanks for listening. And don't forget Tamika Mathis Ministries on Facebook, or Seers, Prophets, and Biblical Dream Interpreters on Facebook. And love you guys.